Welcome to the Year 5 lesson for division. In this lesson I'm learning to use my 5 times tables to work out division questions. Let's start with this question here. Imagine I've got 24 counters and I want to share them between 3 groups. Now the aim of this lesson is to use our 5 times table to help us answer these types of questions. So the question says I've got 3 groups. I'm just going to write that over here. 3 groups. Now if I had 5 in those groups, that means in total I would have 15 items. 3 groups with 5 items in each group would mean I'd have 15 in total. So what I'm going to do is, instead of sharing out 24 all at once, I'm going to share out 15. Now we've just seen that if I have to share 15 items between 3 groups, that means I need to put 5 items in each group. Now the question says I need to share out 24 items, and so far I've only shared out 15, so that means I've got another 9 items to share out. Now if I share those 9 items between 3 groups, that means I need to put 3 items in each group. So when I first shared out the counters, I put 5 in each group, and on my second share I put 3 in each group, so 5 plus 3 equals 8. So 24 divided by 3 equals 8. We can check that by drawing a picture as well. We had 3 groups. The first time around I put 5 counters in each group, and the second time around I put another 3 counters. So you can see in total I've put 8 counters in each group, and I know that 8 groups of 3 is 24. So I've shared out all the items that I had to. Let's try another question. This time I've got 42 items which I want to share between 7 groups. So just like last time, I want to use my 5 times tables to help me. Well, I've got 7 groups, so I think to myself, what would 7 groups of 5 be? Well, I know that that's 35. So that's the amount that I'm going to start by sharing out. So I'm going to share out 35 items. Now we've just seen that if I share out those 35 items between the 7 groups, I'll need to put 5 items in each group. So far I've shared out 35 items, but I need to share out 42. That means I've got 7 more items to share out. Now I have to share those 7 items between 7 groups. So that means I'm going to have to put 1 item in each group. So in my first share I put 5 items in each group, and in my second share I put 1 item in each group. So in total I've put 6 items in each group. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. Let's try one more question. This time I've got 32 items, and I want to share those 32 items between 4 groups. So I'm going to use my 5 times tables again. I've got 4 groups, so I think to myself, what would 4 groups of 5 be? Well, I know that's 20. So I'm going to start by sharing out 20. There we go, I'm sharing out 20. Now if I share out those 20 items, and I need to put them into 4 groups, that would mean I'm putting 5 in every group. Now the question says I need to share out 32, but so far I've only shared out 20. That means I must have 12 more items to share out. So I still need to share these 12 items between my 4 groups, and if I do that, that means I'll need to put 3 items in every group. So in my first share I put 5 items in every group, and in my second share I put 3 items in every group, which means in total I put 8 items in every group. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. Let's have a think about the important things to remember from this lesson. Well, first of all, rather than sharing everything out in one go, here I'm using 2 steps. I'm sharing some out, and then I'm sharing the rest out. Now in my first share, I'm sharing an amount which is on my 5 times tables. So I look at the number of groups I've got, which was 4, and I think to myself, 4 times 5 equals, and it equaled 20. And then in my second share, I'm sharing out all the items that are left over. And I can double check that I've shared out the right amount, because 20 plus 12 equals 32, which is the total amount I need to share out. And when I shared out the 20 counters between my 4 groups, I had to put 5 in each group. And when I shared the 12 items between my 4 groups, I put another 3. And that's how I get this total of 8. You can find the activity sheet that goes with this lesson in the Teacher Tools Multiplication and Division book from the White Book collection.